Okay, gentlemen, we are here for a big Week 12 podcast. We said not one guest, but we have multiple guests today. We have an orgy of guests today. How we doing, fellas?
What's up?
I'm
How
feeling
are
good
you?
after Getz whooped my ass, but besides that.
Lots to talk about this week. That's why we said double the trouble. And let's talk about some highlights of last week, boys. Low points. Going from most points of the week last week to low points of the week. You want to make the announcement, Delaney?
I wonder who that could have been. Delaniacs with what? 68 or 66.7 or something real trash?
68.7.
68.7.
You know what? We got tired of glazing you, and now we got to start cooking you. What kind of
I
dog
agree.
shit ass team
I
did you
agree.
assemble last week?
Someone had to do it, man.
It seems JT reliant, and once JT's out,
Not only
What
JT
happens?
reliant, Josh Jacobs reliant. He went out in the first. He went out in the first quarter, and then
It's
Puka.
mysterious why Josh Jacobs got hurt.
Weird.
The mystery behind there's a we'll get to there very, very shortly, but there are some conspiracies going on in that matchup, to say the least. So lowest points, Delaniac 68.7. Biggest blowout of the week, Gordon the Guys continues the wrath. I think he's like on a 3-week streak of going biggest blowout, and that was 73.8. And most points of last week, Josh Allen, 48 points, quarterback position. Did it
48
again.
on the dot. 48.0.
On the dot.
Nothing
6
else.
tutters,
Yep.
6. Was it 6?
It was 3 on the
3
ground.
passing,
Yeah.
3 rushing.
Wow. Literally put blowies on his back. How amazing. So let's dip into some recap last week of some of these games. I have to give my roses to Bad Intentions. He took down the commissioner. It made us
Sadly.
very sad. It made us very, very sad last week.
sad for you, but sad for me too.
I was
We
like,
blow out
bro,
the roster just for Gino to F
dude,
up
I'm
this
like
rebuild.
I'm like sweating this fucking loss out into the third or fourth quarter. I'm like, dude, is this guy like? I'm like watching Geno Smith. I started like placing under Geno Smith like player props. I was like, well, if Christian's gonna lose to me, then I'm gonna win some money or something like that. So, congratulations on the win. Glad you won. Another big matchup: Dad Bodies versus Back Nines. Do we have a score on that one, fellas?
Yeah, 119.5 to 122.9.
This guy's fucking on it.
That one came down. That one came down to the wire.
It came down to 2 defenses.
Is that what it was? Let's
Yeah,
take
it was.
a look.
Came down to Eagles versus Lions Sunday night. Both had defenses going, and it was about even. And Eagles defense obviously did what they did to
Yeah,
the Lions. Ended up winning because of that.
Back Nine. That was a huge win for Back Nines. That kind of that kept him in the mix. Bijan going nutty. That's nuts.
Yep.
2 defenses. So big matchup, could have playoff implications, and the most talked about matchup of the week last week was the huge upset, David versus Goliath, or some would say Tutu versus Deltrons. And we had
The curse of fucking Tutu.
the curse of Tutu. Let's talk about it, boys. How we feeling? Zach, how do we feel about the W?
And I mean, I really never had a doubt in my mind because Tutu still, we did verify his no death certificates out there for any Tutu Atwells that I could find in the public records. So Tutu is still around, and the Hex is still alive.
The
You know,
curse.
Josh Jacobs got hurt. I can't claim responsibility that Josh Jacobs got hurt, but can Tutu maybe can claim responsibility
Getz
himself.
has hitters out in Wisconsin. You got to be careful every time you pull up to Milwaukee.
My last piece of trash talk about it, Delhi, it really was like David and Goliath. Like Delhi really was Goliath out here, talking shit. I'm about to kill you. You don't got Marvin Harrison, but he wasn't worried about Tutu Atwell.
Dang, yeah, the bulletin material. That's right, you did. And hey, I will be the first to say, I think on the podcast last week, I did say something along the lines, there's 0 chance Getz is winning this week. You know, we say things to motivate. You guys take it as hate. I say it's motivation.
It reminds me of a certain Bears.
It was a
Vikings
good game. I think Getz, because honestly, I think this team had gotten too amped. It's like when you got the little league team that's 12-0, undefeated. They go into the next game. You're playing the little pipsqueak, the pee-wee kids. You see this maybe semi-retarded kid. I don't know. They're like, dude, we're gonna kill these fucking kids. And then those dudes come out, Bobby Boucher, and give you the fight of your life. I needed Getz to get our boys ready and amped for playoffs. So thank you, Getz. And I will have to get a win back from you next year. But for now, We respect
I
you. And
will-
also,
I will-
Bad Intentions and Getz are the only two people to win this week win their matchup this week without scoring more than 100 points. So shout out you boys.
Wow, I didn't even think.
But
It was a
curse is
weird
alive
week,
and
though.
strong.
We
There's
have
really no
both
other.
of the
There's really
Delaney
no other explanation for my victory other than the curse of Tutu Atwell. To be honest with
Yeah,
you. But
hey, so
with that,
real quick.
with that in mind, I do look forward to playing you for about the next 63 years or so.
Until Tutu dies. Whatever
Yeah.
Tutu's lifespan is.
So we got to tell Rich really quick, Zach. So we were trying. Zach and I were on the phone the other day. We were like trying to we were looking on Cameo. You guys ever heard of like Cameo, like where you can contact celebrities and have them do
Yeah,
little
like shout-outs. Yeah.
Tutu's on there, dude. And him and I are like, bro, we have to hit up Tutu Atwell. Like we have
$20
to.
bucks.
And then we're like talking about it. We're like, what the fuck are we gonna say to Tutu Atwell? Like, hey Delaney, it's Tutu Atwell. I'm still alive. And then we're like, what, how do we explain that to Tutu Atwell? Yeah, so I got you on my dynasty team. I placed this curse that this guy will never because you're
I
alive.
placed this
Like,
blood hex.
hey, Getz is a smooth talker. Maybe you can get Tutu Atwell to the draft next year. That'd be, who knows?
Yeah,
A little
Who knows?
swing by.
We'll see. A little Tutu.
we have something in the works. We'll see what it is.
That was awesome. Those are the games. Those are the matchups. Just little things like this is like what makes the league so special. And Christian, it's your first year, and you're gonna see, bro. Like you've already are full like nosedive into it, so you're seeing a lot, and you're probably like, what the fuck is this Tutu Atwell bullshit they keep yapping about? Lots of history in this league, and I think so. Those are some big matchups. Look, we're gonna rip in to last week's studs of the week. Studs and duds. Come on, boys. Studs.
But also
studs.
duds. But also duds.
And also duds. Yeah, see, boys, I know Mike's probably giggling right now looking at Deli like no charisma this week. Deli's always like, king of the castle this
I'm
week.
not
he's
this
just
week. I
like,
can't say it.
Exactly.
We'll
He's
get back
down
to
low.
it. We'll get
Your
back to
dog,
it.
your dog's still
I
back
get
there.
he's always here. I get Fortes this week. We'll get back into the win column. We're not worried about it.
A live spread on that, what, minus 55?
Damn.
Yeah, but dude, I don't know. Fortes could be on upset alert. He already called it this week. Okay, so some studs of last week. This one was a big rebound game, and I'm going Tet McMillan. He had the game against Cardinals where he dropped over 100, and I was there. He looked great, and it's kind of a breakout game. I would consider that a breakout game. And then he had the game against the Cowboys with 2 touchdowns, but I think only 40 yards or something. That's a breakout game. But I think this 33 banger, I think this is Tet's breakout game that we've been waiting for. So good to see Tet doing it. Good to see Only Dan's back in the win column after getting cucked, after cucking himself. And yeah, I think Only Dan's trending up. That's one way to start. And my dud,
I think Ted is top 10 wide receiver now, point-wise.
is he?
I think he creeped in, yeah. I think he's
Fantasy
9 and
points?
Mbuka's 8.
Not
Yeah,
over my
fantasy points, I
precious
think.
Ibuka.
I think Mbuka's 8 and he's 9 when I saw
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's awesome. Good for him. So, in my dud of the week,
Are you
this one just kind of sealed it. I think Lamar had a hit on his whole team because he dropped a whopping 6 points last week, lost to Blowies, and then you started seeing DeAndre Swift get the boot. You started seeing George Pickens. George Pickens like, what did I do? And he got the boot. But yeah, basically sent his franchise in a full rebuild. Lamar Jackson, dud of the week. LD, let's hear your studs and duds.
All right, I took the easy route for my stud of the week. I mean, Josh Allen, 48 points, highest fantasy point scorer in the for that week. Yeah, he was on fire, man, getting it done, both air and ground. You love to see it, and I think this year he maybe hasn't been as good as he has been in past years, just in terms of past 2 years it was him and Lamar fantasy QB number 1. Maybe Jaden Daniels last year, people were kind of getting a little hype of that, but it's good to see him return to form. I think a lot, Blowies loves it. His team is looking like shit, so he's happy to have a carry win,
Hey,
And-
sorry to cut you off. Really quick
You're
question.
good.
Maybe we can do the math on this while you're talking about dud. If anyone guess, if you want to pull up a calculator real quick. I think Josh Allen may have combined more points than the rest of the guys. I know, 48 minus 103.4. He almost tallied the same amount of points as the rest of the roster.
The entire rest of his fucking
That's
roster.
nuts. That's almost 50% of a win. That's nuts. But
He almost
all right.
beat my entire team.
I think it's the highest total of the year, right?
48?
No.
No,
Or was
JT had
JT?
No, I think he
Yeah,
had.
I get-
JT had 49 point something.
Yeah, he had 49, but I can tell you right now.
He beat him by like a point, I think.
Yeah, let's say I thought it was close.
And then my dud, I got my whole team could have been fucking duds: Devontae Smith, Khalil, Josh Jacobs, whomever. But I picked Khalil Shakir. He was supposed to be my rock, my ultimate receiver 3, 10 points guaranteed. But he was .7, and I really thought with Keon Coleman being the healthy scratch, they benched his bum ass. That 6'4" doesn't know how to catch a ball or run a fucking route. Fuck him. I thought Shakur would really get a lot of those, check downs. He's kind of Josh Allen's safety blanket, but it just was not there.
49 points.
There it is.
And he's coming back this week, boys. Don't worry.
Yet, but that'll come. And all right, let's dip into our guests. Let's hear what they have to say. Starting with the more important one, bad intention.
I was about to start talking right away.
Hey, you guys are like all my children. Do I have any favorites? Yes, I do. It's this one. No, just kidding.
Fair.
All right, bad intentions. Let's hear it.
All right. My stud of the week was Michael Wilson. 15 catches, 185 yards. Ended up being 33.5 points. Shout out Brissett, though. 47 completions. NFL record. Nobody's talking about it. What the hell?
Why would they talk about it if they lost?
Because 47. All right. You lost
no wonder
how much again?
47 because they were losing the whole game.
Yeah, they were out there just fucking nuts.
Because they were losing the whole game.
Definition of
anyway,
the game.
Yeah. Anyway, Herbert was my dud of the week. What was he? 10 of 18, 81 yards, 4.1 points. Thanks, Mish. He couldn't put up at least 15 to win the week for you.
He wouldn't even look at me when he got back in the locker room. I said, "Get over there, you fucking lard."
That's crazy. I can't believe that game. Jaguars smoked them.
I agree, man. He dudded out, and I
told Madison Beer he's sitting in the cuck chair tonight. Sorry, buddy.
My stud is Bijan Robinson for back nines. Big game for him. 30 points.
What do you like about that performance? Let's hear it.
I like that he's the sole reason Benny won. To me, what a stud's all about.
Yeah, true.
Amen.
Is that it?
All right.
Is that it? Sorry for those not watching. Camera gets his blitz out of his mind again. How many
edibles? You went cross-eyed when you look in the camera, so here we are.
I told him too. I literally called him. I said, "Do not get baked before the podcast this time."
He's in the middle of a bong rip. He's like, "What?"
Swear to God, he said, "Too late."
Stud.
All right.
Stud.
So, all right, Zach. Who's your dead of the week?
Hold up. Let's see if we get that far.
He's like, I forgot.
Where's the kick button on this thing?
What's up?
Didn't forget. My dud of the week is Rome Odunze.
Tell us why. Are we all stoned out of our mind right now? What's going on? I feel like everyone listening right now is probably just like, dude, how high are these guys?
Oh my gosh.
We're really not, man.
If this
I'm chilling.
I know. While we get Zach's thought train together. Brought to you by Buffalo Trace.
I was gonna say, if this podcast somehow ends up making it to like the 5-year mark and we have a 5-year anniversary, we should all just drop like 1.5 pounds of shrooms and then just pod for like 2 hours. Everybody gets 3 grams.
Stare at this camera for 5 minutes.
All right, Zach.
I really wanted to hear what the dud why.
I had to come up with my studs and duds really off the top of my head. I didn't get too much notice. So
okay, on that, shout out Kamish.
That was just
sending an official email with the whole timeline of it.
You know what, Christian? Thank you for acknowledging that. We appreciate it, and thank you for printing it and going above and beyond, because I did send it to Zach, and he said that he never got it. So, duds of the week, Rome Odunze. I'll tell you why Rome Odunze was a dud, because he actually, he didn't do that bad, bro. He made some good catches, but
I think a big problem we can at least address. Not a problem, but like the Bears are 7-3. They look better than they've ever looked. Shout out, Jay Cutler. He basically had to die for
the most
this to happen.
fraudulent 7-3.
But I think they have so many. It is. I think there's
too many men
that could be fraudulent. Point differential.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Big time.
But the Bears
crazy.
have so many weapons they want to feed, and Caleb doesn't seem to have like an overarching favorite with him. He's throwing the ball to a Lamake Zadias half the time. It's like, dude, stop throwing that motherfucker the ball. Give it to Rome, give it to Colston Loveland, or get Luther Burton some touches. You went and spent second-round draft capital on a dude who everybody thought should have been a first-rounder, and that motherfucker isn't seeing the field. So I don't know. The Bears run a real weird offense to me. It's
they do.
You never know who's getting the ball.
It's weird because at the end of the day, we're the fucking Bears, dude, and we're always going to have a dysfunctional offense. We've never, in my lifetime, I've never seen a functional offense outside of Cutler, Alshon, and B.
It doesn't look bad all the time. You need Caleb to be throwing the ball well.
It looks foreign. It looks foreign to fans. It looks foreign to even Caleb. but I do think this year is a big learning year for Caleb and them, and sky's the limit for that offense. Hopefully, we'll see.
It's a
but-
lot with
they're already-
Ben Johnson asks a lot of his players too. There's a lot of weird shit that they run.
Yeah, I'd
They're already coming together, but fantasy-wise, it sucks. I mean, yeah, fantasy-wise, they have a lot of mouths to feed. I said that going into the draft with Colston Loveland, how high he was going. I was like, I don't know. You know, he's a great player, but it's like it seems like they got 5-6 great players on offense.
Yeah.
None of them are great any which way consistently.
Yeah,
I do think
next
Luther
year's
Burton's still
gonna
going to
be
be
a big
that dude, but I mean, ultimately, he's still halfway into his rookie season. Justin Jefferson didn't even really start blooming until 4 or 5 games into his rookie season.
Yeah.
Takes
I
time.
think
Takes
Luther
time.
Burton will still be sick, but DJ Moore. I mean, yeah, DJ Moore at this point, it's like it's pretty disappointing.
Complete bust.
For what he's supposed to be. I mean, he should be their main dude, but I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because he just sucks or because it's just the way they run their offense.
Who? DJ? Yeah, DJ. I don't know what's going on with DJ. I was talking to Jovas about that, and it's like he can only go up in the Bears' offense next year, and I don't think they're going to trade him next year. But signs are pointing to like they should, but I don't know. I mean, it's next year's just Roman Colson. But all right, enough of me getting bricked up about the Bears. Let's move on. Before we go into our favorite segment of the night, let me re-up this little Buffalo Trace. We're going to talk about some studs and duds.
Slow down on the buff. We have a lot to get through.
A lot of content. I printed off 10 pages, so we're only on page 2. Let's go.
Let's dip in. Before I get into Week 12 matchups, before we get into Week 12 studs and duds, it is now time for the playoff picture, brought to you by Winning Teams. And in first place, let's pull this up, we got, still hanging on by a thread, we have Delaniacs in first place. Second place, let me find this.
If by a thread means by 2 games, then yeah, I guess. Oh wait, 1 game. Damn it!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Is that it? Did you
needs
play
to
him
lose.
twice yet?
No, we play again. It's gonna be a big game. I think it's week 13.
So yeah, 1 seed we got Delhi. 2nd seed we got Gordon the guys. He's sitting there very close. He's not even in the rear view mirror anymore. He's like in your back seat. He's
plus 50 on Delhi on points, so.
Unless I take Gordy down this week.
Hey, let's go, Gets.
Hey,
Team Gets.
Gets, are you gonna just
don't look into those eyes, Gordy.
That'd be wild, man. Okay, so 3rd place right now, Dad Bodies. 4th, Fish and the Fellas. So those are your division winners. 5th, we got Hide Your Kids. 6, Back 9. 7, Blowies. And again, these are teams with 6 wins. Christian, I don't know if you know this, but for the 7 seed, goes to highest points forced with the team that hits 7 wins.
Illegals
that,
is sitting there like,
Every single league should do that.
Dude, illegals, on some real shit, illegals might actually, like,
squeak in.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
and not even in 7, dude, because he could beat me this week. That pushes him to 7 win.
Yeah.
And then if he beats Zach, then boom, that's 8. And we don't even know, like, we have the South beating each other up, dude. They would be lucky to get 8 wins, you know? So he's not out yet. But yeah, on the cusp, we have Only Dan's illegals. Get some in Bad Intentions. You guys are still firm in the mix. Good luck.
Why don't we
Why
talk
weren't
really
we
quick
ahead of
about
Gets?
who's out of the playoffs? Because that's pretty.
Yeah, who's pretty much eliminated right now? Fortes, Bovas, Jays,
And
Tuna.
You hate to see it for Tuna. You hate to see it.
Why?
Because he's
I
not
quite
come
enjoy
to a
the
draft,
downfall.
and that's why. He tries to buy his way out of the draft, and it doesn't work anymore. Just kidding. Hey, thanks for that. I'm
It
sorry
can
about
work.
the hole in the wall. No, we got that whole patch.
Nice security deposit.
Dude, hey. All right, so yeah, where are we at? I'm getting all. Oh yeah, that's the playoffs. So if the playoffs were today, this is what we would have. We would have the 1 seed Delaniacs. It would be Gordon the Guys versus Blowies. We would have Dad Bodies versus Back Nines, and we would have Fish versus Hide Your Kids. So we got some decent matchups. Still a lot left to go, boys. Lots going to be shaken out. You could pretty much count Only Dan's is going to be getting in the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's
lots
got
to
a big
go,
point lead.
and let's talk about some matchups next week. Any tasty matchups? Not really. We have Fish and the Fellas versus Back Nines. I think that might be the only one. Does anyone have this next week pulled up? Let's take a look.
Bad intentions. Hide your kids.
I think
Sneaky
Bad
good.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get that one. His whole team
Because
is
Jamar Chase is out. Yeah, I mean.
Jamar Chase is out, yeah.
Next week looks like a snooze.
Yeah, it's not a lot of great matchups. Okay,
Back
if
nines fish, you said that, right?
Back Nines' fish is pretty much the only one that really fucking matters. Getsum
Yeah.
could pull up an upset for sure on Gordon the guys. Jays can pull up, probably not on illegals. We'll see. Bad Intentions looking like upset alert. Outside of that, I don't see a lot of upset alerts. Maybe Tuna. Yeah, not a lot of upset alerts.
He can take the week off. Tuna, take the week off.
Yeah, right? No. I don't think so.
Come on, keep Keenan Allen in the lineup.
He needs to keep
I hear
winning.
he'll have a great week.
So, yeah, I would say that one. And if we were to guess, most likely to pull the upset, who would it be?
I'm going for Getz, baby. Get some. You just got King Henry. His receivers are fine in stride. Do we know, is Marvin Harrison playing this week?
He's not. He's out.
He's expected to as
What
of
a
now.
weak need.
No, they
bitch.
already ruled him out.
What a
I
pussy.
did.
They ruled him and whatever the other guy, running back DeMarcado out. So
I saw DeMarcado. I didn't see Marvin Harrison. Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm going Bad Intentions over Hide Your Kids.
Hell yeah.
yes,
Me too.
we're
Hey,
shipping in
dude.
Dak for the week, baby.
Yeah, we got our shit pushed in by Bad Intentions, and we'll tell you right now, Hide Your Kids. It doesn't feel good, so be careful.
Strong
Watch your-
defense.
Yeah, hide your kids, hide your wives. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Now let's talk about some studs. Right, come on, let's
It's
get a little
also done.
enthusiasm. Let's get a little enthusiasm, Zach. Let's hear it. Come on.
I was doing the low background studs.
Studs. Boys, hold on. We're gonna have to get a little bit more buff in the system. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
carrying the podcast right now. Let's go.
No, dude. I've
I'm
been
trying,
drinking
but every
eggnog
time I
this
look
whole
at
time.
Getz,
You're
I
doing
just
a
wanna
great
go
job.
to
These
sleep.
other guys, one's still butthole's still bleeding from Getz, and then Getz is like, Getz has got post nut syndrome. He's
Deli
like,
got a little quiet now. A little quiet.
yeah,
Give
yeah,
everyone else
His
an
boy
opportunity.
chirping
JT's
as
on the
much
bench.
anymore.
His JT's on the
Back
bench.
week 12, you'll hear me again. Don't worry. We're moving in the shadows. It's all good.
What is that?
You're
Not
gonna
in
love-
the
you're gonna love
shouldn't
what I
be
say in the
talking
next
to those
segment.
leading the
Mother's
division,
milk?
bad intentions.
You're gonna love it.
Eggnog
You'll know what it's like to win the division someday. Just not
with
today.
alcohol.
Shortly.
All right. Last week's stud.
Are you going to do your stud and dud, right? Like we did
Yeah, I'm gonna do
before?
my
Okay.
stud and dud. I'm gonna hit him back off. I know my stud completely did not hit. I think I went who the fuck I think I went Jalen Warren and he just completely dudded. But my dud did hit, and that was Rasheed Rice. Hate to do that to you guys, but you still pulled out the W. So my stud this week, I am going, and I feel like this one's definitely a broken record player. But
Does 9 points count as a dud?
Dud, yeah. I said
yeah.
I said if you're looking for more than 14 points, I don't think you're gonna get it. I said I'm looking somewhere between like that 10 to
Yeah.
12 point range. So yeah, my stud I think this week, I'm going to AJ Brown. He's going up against the Cowboys secondary. He's going up against Deron Bland, who's Deron bum.
Hey, he looked better last week.
They say he's talking to like the front office now, or he's talking to the ownership about his playing time and stuff. So I think at this point, dude, you got to feed the kid the rock. He's not even a kid anymore. But AJ Brown, I'm telling you, ATD for sure. If you're feeling lucky, I might put in 2 anytime touchdowns. I think they're gonna feed this motherfucker.
Free picks. The profit's been hot.
Yeah. Dud of the week, I am going Michael Pittman and Alex Pierce. They're going up against Watson and McDuffie, and they've been shut down. They've been shutting down everyone and their mom. The KC defense. So if you're starting any Colts wide receivers, be aware because they're in for a long day. So those are gonna be my studs and duds of the week. And I'm gonna cut you off, Deli. I'm gonna hear Bad Intentions stud and dud of the week.
Let's go. All right, I love that stud of the week, by the way, AJ Brown. I had him in my ranking, but I'm ultimately going with Jerry Jeudy. Breakout with Shador against the Raiders, who are allowing 160 yards a game. And yeah, why are you giving me that look?
Jerry Jeudy.
You're Jerry Jeudy. Start him, baby.
Man,
This is a good opportunity for him to get a touchdown. I think even.
fucking hope so, man.
And then Deli's going to love this one. My dud of the week is Jonathan Taylor. Going against the Chiefs
Bold.
defense, ranking 7th. I see them playing from behind, so I don't see JT doing a whole lot.
Bold
I
move,
disagree.
Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for
I
him.
like it. I'm here
Someone's
for
got to
it.
take the risk.
Let's go, Christian. You're
on.
welcome on any time, Christian. All right. Since you thwarted Delaniacs, he has no business talking about anything right now. Come to fantasy football. He was lowest points last week. Let's hear yours.
Stud of the week, T. Higgins with no Jamar Chase. A lot of volume. I see a lot of volume coming his way this week. maybe a touchdown or two. There's my
Or
stud.
two.
Can you
Stud.
even see with your eyes right now? You're like,
There's no way.
he's like,
There's no way.
Nice.
One eye is off screen at all times.
It's all right. Anyway,
I'm just gonna have to edit that out. We're getting demonetized on YouTube.
And an honorable mention stud of the week. I do think King Henry makes a loud entrance in his first start for
my
Getz
gosh.
going against the Jets. I think opportunity definitely to run up the score, get a couple touchdowns, 2-3 touchdowns against the Jets this week.
Getz, do you
So that
stare
would
at the
be-
mirror when you wank off?
I'm going to continue on with my my duds of the week. I've got 2 duds for you this week. 3 actually. Bad intentions. First dud of the week. We got a second dud of the week. DJ Moore. I think DJ continues to be a total stud. Dud. Sorry. No, not tonight.
Bobbin?
And James Cook. I think James Cook has a real rough week going against the Texans defense on the road.
I like that.
That's awesome.
Let's get it.
noted. Wow. I hope everyone listening does not start anyone that was just listed off, because you're doomed. Okay. All right, so those are studs and duds of the week. Now, we had a big...
Did I just get skipped?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Damn.
Sorry,
Those points, and they start moving different, dude.
Sorry about that. Deli, sorry, you've been
What?
so mum today.
What?
Let's
All right,
hear
I'll do
it.
mine really quick so we can get on, because we have to get to the juicy segment next. Everyone's going to really like this one. For my start of the week, I have Kenneth Gainwell. I'll follow in Kamish's steps from last week. Jalen Warren is playing this week, but Kenneth Gainwell kind of stepped into that receiving role that Warren normally fills. He had 2 receiving touchdowns. You've already seen that they like him as a workhorse back. They were giving him way more touches early on than Caleb Johnson ever got. So I don't know. I just have a sneaky feeling that Pitt's going to let him get a lot of work, especially when you get, they obviously liked Warren a lot coming off of like a slight injury. I'm sure he probably could have kept playing, but you don't want to hurt one of your guys that you like. And Warren seems like he's been in the league for a while, but he's still a pretty young back. I think he's only 25, 26. So I like Kenneth Gainwell this week. And also, the Bears are ass. And then for my dud, I have 2. One should be Bucketh Irving. Shout out only Dan's. If he plays, I doubt he does plays because his fucking vagina hurts for 12 weeks for whatever reason. But, coming off that big injury, I doubt they give him that much work considering Sean Tucker's been so viable. Rashad White's been pretty good in the snap count he has gotten. But if he doesn't play, then I'll take the soft benching and Khalil Shakir's cuck boy, Keon Coleman. Don't start him this week, Blowies. Don't start him. He's
has
not
no
trustworthy.
choice. Remember, he has no choice. He has a
no
gun to his head.
He has no choice.
Apparently, Keon Coleman comes over and puts a gun to Matt's head and says, "You're starting me, and don't even look at the waiver wire."
Matt
Amazing
Collins-
that guy still gets run.
Hey, by the way, side note, this is it's starting to become it's almost like it's like a trend now. Dud of the week, Bucky Irving, and he's been listed twice now as Dud of the week without this guy's even played a snap.
He was also a stud of the week for
Was he?
Danny, who started him, and he was out. We won't talk about it. It's okay. Yeah, it's
that
fine.
was his dud.
New rule, you can't pick your own guy for stud of the week. What is that?
I think that's fine.
Hey, I'm with that, but hey, sometimes all I got on my mind is all right. So I do like that idea. Yeah, we're gonna be like, no Justin Herbert. Okay. All right. So moving on, let's talk about. All right, here we go. Now we are here in the segment we've been waiting for. Hold on, pause for a second. We're gonna put this on pause really quick. I need to get this ready.
There you go.
This guy needs to slow down.
No, don't.
No.
All right, and we're back. Thanks for tuning in today. We are back with a big segment, and we have now. We had one of the biggest weeks in UFFL history when it comes to trading. Probably the biggest week ever. We had how many trades? 7, 8.
I think 8.
8 trades. 8 trades unfolded. We already discussed a few. We got into the Jacoby Brissett trade, and I'm sorry, we got into the Brian Robinson trade. Haven't gotten to the Brissett trade yet, but let's get it going, boys. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to kind of discuss a few of the trades, and we kind of want to give a consensus, who we feel like a consensus grade to each team. So,
And was this to start the hottest trade deadline the UFFL's ever seen? It's the best I've ever seen in my 6 years.
It
Never
is.
seen one this hot.
it is. It truly is.
You're
It-
welcome.
No, yeah. Well, who do you think lit the match, buddy, with that Brian Robinson trade? And then you were active, and then everyone's getting active. It was like a big old bukkake of us. It was like, hey, what's your name? I've never touched tips with you before. And then And then Matt Powers and Tyler are just sitting in the cuck chair watching all of us just fucking.
Powers getting his toes licked.
Ooh.
So the first trade, one of the first trades that after the Brian Robinson trade, this is one that kind of really sparked everything. We had Fish and the Fellas sending receiving Baker Mayfield, Cameron Dicker, and a 4th-round pick to Fortes, and Fortes received a 2026 first, Tyrone Tracy, Will Reichard, and Justin Fields. So tearing that down, basically you're getting Baker for first, a kicker swap between Cameron Dicker and Reichard, and then basically a 4th for Justin Fields. What do we feel, boys? Was this a big move? This is obviously Fish needed a quarterback very bad, and he got a kicker with it. Was it worth a first and Justin Fields?
Go ahead, Christian.
Go ahead. No.
Oh. See, I need to assert my dominance again. Everyone thinks I'm being weak.
So I think.
God damn it. I think it's okay. I think like Fish was like, oh, you want to see me get bent over? It's just the most fair trade you've ever seen. It's like,
That's
yeah,
why he
Fish,
feels
I'm
like
sure.
he got bent over.
I think it's fine on both sides. Fish has said numerous times since I've been in this league that he's just never going to rebuild, and that's cool. That's who he is as a person. So I think for him, he needed a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers and Fields were not getting it done. They were both cuck boys. Fields is getting benched this week. I think a first is valid unless he really shits the bed and ends up not doing much in the playoffs. It's going to be a late round anyway. I am interested in Tyrone Tracy going. I think Tyrone Tracy had enough of a hot start last year that if Cam comes back and isn't 100%, maybe he gets a little bit more work. Or even when this contract's up, maybe someone gives him a flyer and he gets an opportunity to start. And he did play receiver in college, so he could go to a spot where, like Kansas City, where they use that Jared McKinney role, where you really get those fantasy points and receptions and rushes and whatever. But I think it's a fair trade overall. I'd give it a B on both sides.
What do you guys feel? I like the B.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know everything. I mean, it's really to me just pretty much a Baker for a first trade, because to me, Tyrone Tracy, I mean, yeah, with Scott out right now, he should be just like dominating on this opportunity, but Singletary's touching into his work a ton. So, I mean, I don't think that's a super positive sign about Tracy. I mean, Scatterboot took his job pretty quick too. So to me, those guys are kind of fillers. I mean, they swapped kickers. Cameron Dicker, Will Reichard, Justin Fields, who knows? So, I mean, to me, it's really like Baker Mayfield, though, is playing like a top 5 quarterback, really, especially when all the dudes are healthy and rolling. So,
yeah,
I mean, he's obviously making the move, banking that Baker's going to be performing at that level for 5 years to come.
I'm gonna go B+ on both ends, only because Fortes is dead nuts in rebuild, and I think this is number 3 for him, his third first round pick, and you're getting Baker Mayfield, dude, and again, it's like Fish had no other quarterback, and Baker could put up astronomical numbers.
Yeah.
So, dude, like, and that's the position that's going to be putting up the most points. It literally is making.
I definitely edge this towards Fish. I look at the rest of Baker's schedule. He's got Rams, Arizona, New Orleans, Atlanta. In playoffs, a little sketchy. He's got Falcons, Panthers, but then you end with Miami. So I look at it, okay, the rest of the season, what is he getting? Baker's getting the 26 easiest remaining opponents. So I think Fish has got himself in a good position. I would say all day for a 1. I'm getting Baker, and especially with this draft class coming up,
B+.
especially
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
So.
I like some B+ here.
But I mean, I think it definitely helped both teams, because I mean, but he's still got Caleb Williams. You know, he's obviously going to be rolling with him, and it's probably a pretty fair swap in a day, B+, like you said.
Garrett's the guy from the fucking TV show, The Boys or whatever. You know that meme? What's the main guy's name from the superhero?
Homelander?
Homelander.
Yeah.
You know when he kills the fucking protester guy, and then like everyone's cheering, and he's like just smiling. He's like, you know what I'm talking
Right.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Like Garrett makes one fair trade ever, and he's all nervous about it. Everyone starts cheering. He's like, I think this is a great trade. We have Gordon the Guys receiving Jacoby Brissett in a 7th round pick. Very easy trade. This is like when you have 2 tier 1s. It's very like business. Hey, boom, boom, boom. You need this. I need this. Let's just call it a day. And in return, Gordon the Guys received Jacoby Brissett in a 7th for a 5th round pick. I'll let you boys do the grading on this one. I won't be biased.
Yeah, like Gordy said, simple business, little business trade. Not much to say about it, really. I think it's just, you know, you're getting some value in Brissett through the rest of the year, and you know, just
He
swapping.
was
When
that
did,
pick, I think it just went down.
Not much to it.
When did you pick up Brissett?
2 weeks, like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so a great turnaround. You're getting a 5th out of a guy you had no business really.
Waiver wire.
having.
Hey, I pulled a
So-
page out of Zach's book.
That's what makes
So,
Dynasty so interesting, though. Waivers always matter.
Never would have
I mean-
thought I'd pick up the defense and trade him the same week, but hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fire.
that's when we knew there was a pulse.
He's locked in.
Yeah. So
Hey, a
all right,
little
go
bit
ahead.
behind this.
Simple trade, B's all around, nothing special.
I give commission A and then Gore to B. Okay, so a little bit of the
Pretty
backside of
insignificant
this.
trade for an A.
Like he picked him up 2 weeks ago and got a fifth out of it.
B plus
This
for
is
Connor,
what-
B for
Okay.
no.
So I hit up Gord actually. Well, I don't want to prelude my trades here, but he had an opportunity to get Dak. I was gonna three-way that in another trade on this one, and he said he wanted Brissett over Dak. So we'll see how that.
Maybe it had to do with money and stuff.
Well, he's a Cardinals fan. All these
I
Cardinals
sold him.
boys
Hey,
are
hey, I'll tell you what.
clouded by.
It's not like
Fair.
I'm not a car salesman here, so I'm not like out here trying to put like a quick one. But I'm like, dude, listen, man, you won off the stack between Murray and McBride. Bring the stack back. It's shown that when Brissett was there, he was just diming up McBride for touchdowns. Finally, something Kyler would never do. You have a second, third. Like you don't need a fifth.
You've got the
It's
league bent
expendable.
over. Just fucking.
It
give me
is interesting
something.
though that of all the backup quarterbacks in the league, it's interesting that Gordy did go for Brissett. It does seem like a homer move, which might downgrade him to a B minus.
How though? Brissett's been putting up insane
you
numbers.
You think down the stretch down the stretch? I
So
don't know
during
if he's gonna keep doing
playoffs,
it.
Cardinals pull Houston and Atlanta in the first 2 rounds of our playoffs,
Oof. I hate to see that.
and then end with Cincinnati. So if he makes the championship, potentially that could be a
Yeah, well,
game
hey,
breaker,
Penix
but
is gone.
Two
so
tough games.
We look like geniuses. All right, we'll say B's all around. I think it's a pretty fair trade on both ends. I don't like being the winner in a trade. Trade 3. All right, we have this one's interesting. We have Jackson Dart going to Danny in a 5th round pick in return for Dak Prescott in a first. Fellas, let's hear
A
it.
plus
Let's hear it.
for Christian. Beautifully,
Plus Christian,
masterfully
yeah. A
fucking
plus for
done.
Christian.
In a 1 QB league, trading a first when you already have 2 startable quarterbacks. Who does he have? He had Jared Goff and Prescott.
Goff and Dak, yeah.
I know that youth is a big thing. Don't get me wrong. I think he could be good, but already we're seeing Jackson Dart taking that RG3 route. He's taking a lot of big hits, and he's hurting for it really early on. So bad
Yeah, I mean,
intentions.
he's fast.
Bad intentions A plus. I say only Dan's maybe a C, maybe a C minus. You didn't need this.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart flashed. He flashed for a couple games there, and he probably has some potential there. But I agree, he's going to get killed out there and be injured every year playing the way that
He
he
looks
plays.
good. He looks good right now. The couple 30-point games. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He looks great for fantasy, but
I mean,
he didn't need this move. I don't know why he did.
End of the
this.
day, I could argue that you could just trade Dak and Jackson Dart straight up for Christian to get a first out of it as well. I mean, like I said, A plus for Christian, and I'd say even a D. I'd give that trade a D because I hate it for
Christian did some like shady shit. I know Christian was like, "Hey man," he's like, "You know what would help you about like last week if you had someone like me reminded you to start players." And he's
You know,
like,
I've got
"How
this
about
spreadsheet. I've
you
got
throw
it
in a
on the
first,
calendar.
and I'll never let you forget to start a lineup again."
All right, I'll say this about that trade. I had no reason. I was holding on to Dart the whole time. Dart was never on my board of someone that I was going to trade. Okay, at 2:45 in the morning,
Demon time.
Dan hits
Wait,
me
time
up.
out, time out.
Yeah.
Texts you, "Hey, you
Yeah,
want
he
to
texted
chat?"
me.
Did he
Yeah, he
text you?
texted me. He's like, I've been
wanna
looking.
chat?
Yeah, I've been looking
Hey, you
around the
want to come
league.
over?
I want a player off
hey,
your
bro,
team.
check
I think
this out real quick. Let me get Jackson Dart.
the attachment was everything. That's what got me into it, you know.
Yeah,
But
that
no,
one
so-
was.
Do you
Go
agree
ahead.
that trade could have just been Jackson for Dak straight up?
I don't love it.
I wouldn't have
I don't
done it
love it
for
for
that.
Danny because it's like
Because I couldn't.
Dak in my mind still maybe I would have to see the numbers compared. Again, availability is huge, but yeah, dude. Like if I'm in win now mode, what does Jackson Dart do for me? You know, like
Dart is a top 5 points per game right now. He's number
he
3.
is, but now he's
quarterback.
dealing with concussions. Now he's
Can't hear you, Christian. Is it just
Speak
me
a
or
little-
is it?
you have to speak a little bit louder.
What did you say, Gets?
I said, is it just me or can no one else? Is Christian really quiet to everyone else?
I'm gonna give Danny around C minus on this one. It just doesn't really make sense what you gave up, and I'm gonna give Christian a solid A on that one.
Nice.
Big move. He turned Dart from a 4th into Dak Prescott in a 1st. Wild.
4.09.
Wild. All right, trade 4. He wasn't done wheeling and dealing. We have only Dan's receiving Stephon Diggs, a 6th round pick and a 7th round pick. Fuller effect gets a 2nd and a 5th. So essentially, Diggs for a second.
I don't really like it for only dance either, to be honest. I mean, I like Stephon Diggs, but I think going forward, I don't think he's going to be a center point really of that offense in years to come, and he gives up a second for him as well. So they're kind of questionable moves. It's one thing to give away, these high end picks, but you got to get. I mean, I feel like more than he's getting for these picks.
What my question is, wide receivers. He's got Michael Pittman. He's got Ted. Then he's got Jameson. Okay, so
BTJ and Tillman.
Okay,
as well.
I guess he's making this trade to immediately start over Jameson, I'm assuming, and BTJ. That's the only way you trade a second. You just
Jamo's been involved a lot too. I have a hard time.
Not playing him. It doesn't make any sense for him either. This one.
It gives them depth. I can see it kind
of. You just listed four better options than Stephon Diggs. I would say
3 of them, yeah, for sure.
I think the biggest thing is Dan Campbell started calling plays there in Detroit, and they pulled up a stat. Listen to the Fantasy Football Today. I don't know if anybody likes the fantasy podcast, but they were talking about it when Dan Campbell is play calling Jameson Williams, he's like a 20% increase in looks on the field, and you can see that from starting this week. Like he was just getting.
He reminds me of George Pickens, kind of the game that Pickens had for the Cowboys. I mean, he seems like the type of dude you can just get him the ball on a little 10-yard in, and he'll take it to the house. And he can go deep, he can go short, he can be physical.
Yeah, we'll talk about George Pickens here. So, boys, what are we saying? Fuller effect, B plus. Only Dan.
I get Fuller an A.
Yeah,
to get a second out of
we can't just
Diggs.
Be dishing out A's.
I'd say B plus. I'd say B plus for Fuller and a C plus C or a straight C probably for Danny.
I think this is a better trade value than the one before, so I'll give Danny at least a B minus, and then Fuller maybe a B.
I gave Dan a B minus.
I'm gonna go B minus on this one. All right, so let's move on. Now we have an interesting trade. So we have get some receiving Derrick Henry, a 4th-round pick, a 2027 5th. And then Bovis receives Dylan Sampson, a 2nd-round pick, and a 3rd. So essentially, Derrick Henry for a 2nd and a 3rd, 2027, with some slight comeback in the 4th. Let's just not act like Derrick Henry's the worst guy ever. He could still have some value, and maybe the year after, he could be. Who knows? The whole Ravens offense was dysfunctional this year, so I don't want to rule him out. I wouldn't be surprised if Derrick Henry heats back up at the end of the year, and Derrick Henry has his last year or two riding off in the sunset. Doesn't make a lot of sense for Getsum, but I like the move here to finally be competitive. And then for Dylan Sampson going to Bovis needed youth. He got a 2nd-round pick and 3rd. I like this for Bovis. He's in full rebuild. So this basically is like a trending sign. I think in my eyes, we're seeing Bovis starting to get ready for rebuild. We're seeing Getsum getting ready to compete. So,
Christian, what do you think?
I absolutely hated this trade for Bovis. I think it was the worst thing he could have done. I think Getz came away like a stud in this one. I think for sure Henry comes back next year. Getz is giving up a 2nd, especially when you see the 1st that were dished out, and Derrick Henry only gets a 2nd. That surprised me a lot, and I think this turns into a really, really good trade if Getz makes a run in the playoffs.
Could you imagine?
If he gets to the playoffs, he could make. He would be my dark horse in this because Omarion Hampton comes back, Marvin comes back. You add in Henry.
Are you sure about that?
You get Rashee Rice. I don't know. It could be sneaky. Daniel Jones could catch, so you don't know. I'm so low on Sampson. I think he's nothing more than a gadget guy that won't be anything. So I don't think Bova's got really anything out of this.
I think Sampson could have a role next year with Jerome Ford leaving. But again, that whole Browns
is it reliable?
No.
I mean, you're not going to be able to count on it, I don't think, ever.
No.
So, I don't know.
I'll give a quick mixed view of just my point. I like the value, like you said, the 1st being dished out. I like that you didn't give up a 1st Gets. That was big time. And I think you were one of the few teams with the capital. I think we forget now with salaries. This motherfucker's getting paid $300 over the next 4 years. So it made sense. I just don't think it really quite fits your timeline personally. I could be wrong. The value's okay for you. I think maybe Bova's didn't get quite back as much, but I guess I would like.
Bova's said this year and next year. I don't know if that was a lie. Side note.
He's got him under contract next year.
Yeah.
You're right. Not for 4 years.
I think he has.
He did 3.
3.
He did a 3.
A real long time is what I'm saying. And I think the
So-
biggest
Right.
thing
But he'll
is
retire
with
after next
running
year,
backs
so.
and receivers, you have there's statistically an age where they all kind of just fall off. Receivers, it's like 31, 32, you get a bit longer. Running backs, it's typically like 29, 30, and you fall off the face of the earth. It happened kind of to LaDainian Tomlinson, God bless his soul, he only ended up playing 10 years. And King Henry's already defied that by 1 or 2 years, so I really, really am feeling like next year he's not going to be much of anything, but what do I fucking know? King Henry, baby. That was my original
Yeah, I mean,
song.
I'll just throw in my only thoughts on it real quick, or reasoning behind it. I mean, obviously Hampton's been out. I think that I'm surprised to find myself somewhat in the mix right now. So it's one of those things where, I've been kind of patching it together. Where Addison was out 3 weeks, and Rice is out, and now Marv's out, and this guy's out. Kincaid misses a week, so who knows? If I go on a little surprise run, win 2 out of the next 3 weeks, something along those lines could be in the mix. And to Christian's point, my thought process was like, hey, I'm not expecting even with this trade to have Henry 3 years from now necessarily. I want him to perform through this year and give me a good year next year. Got Hampton coming back, and probably will still go for a young back to take Henry's spot in the next year or two as well. But I don't know. I kind of lost interest in Sampson. I think Sampson showed some flash that first week out of necessity because they had no one else literally. But I don't really see him being anything more than even going forward like a Kenneth Gainwell type back at the highest end, at the best possible outcome for him. And yeah, I don't know. It made sense for me. Because I thought that he would ask for more. To be honest, he came to me. We didn't even really go back and forth. He came right to me with that trade.
How much would you have done?
I mean, if I didn't have a first, but if I had a first, I think Derrick Henry's still worth it. I mean, I still think he's a back that's going to.
Sure, no.
I still think he's going to put up 15 points a game for the next season and a half, at least, something along those lines. So,
Like I said, I think it's a great trade.
The first poop trade goes to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I got B's for both teams. Bovis unloads the contract. He's in rebuild.
I'll go
Gotta
B
start.
Getz. I'll go C plus Bovis.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah,
unloads
B
the
plus C
contract.
minus.
He unloads the contract, though.
Right.
Yeah, so, all right, trade 6. Another Bova's trade.
Six.
Trade 6. All right, trade 6. Now, this one was the one where I kind of made my comments in the Discord. And
There was a plan to this.
It was like, everyone were all having fun, and then I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing over there? Knock it off. And like, yeah.
Get
and
off
then
my lawn.
And that trade came through, and that was Alvin Kamara to Bad Intentions in a second for Kenneth Gainwell in a second. I don't like this. I don't like this at all for Bova's. I kind of voiced it to him already. I love it for Bad Intentions because he's getting. I mean, dude, Kamara for Gainwell straight up. Kamara's the better running back. He's got more value. Gainwell again may not even be on a team next year. He's on a 1-year contract. His contract expires. The future is very murky for Gainwell, where Kamara can very well go to another team and be utilized somewhat. And somehow this guy slithered his way up to 2-1 from his second round pick. So
Big time.
Yeah. So
I don't think Kenneth Gainwell's ever had a season over 500 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, this is
a backup running back. He's not a starter.
Yeah, this is a prime example of people seeing the sirens go off in the Discord, and they want to dude, emotions run high, man. When you start seeing people wheeling, dealing, you get lost in the frenzy, the trade sauce.
Well, I mean, I understand it
Bova's
from.
got lost in the trade sauce on this one. So.
I understand it from Bova's perspective if he doesn't give a second right back. I mean, it's essentially just a Gainwell for Kamara swap. And I guess I will say, I mean, he came to me initially. I don't know about you, Christian, but he came to me and said, "Do you want Henry or Kamara?" And I was like, "Henry, no question." Like to me,
no question.
To me, like Kamara is closer to that cliff, kind of. I think in my mind, to be honest. But I still think he might have a year left if he gets out of New Orleans or gets in a different situation. But I mean, yeah, pretty much another robbery, I think, for Bad Intentions on this one.
I think this is a true C- for Bova's. I want to say D+, but C-, B+ for Intentions. We're starting to see what kind of human you are, what kind of GM you are.
We see the guys who've been in the league.
I mean, what did Bova's gain out of it? He didn't.
He dropped the contract. It was 175.
Yeah.
He was on a 175 2-year.
But he just dropped
175 2-year.
dropped a $300 contract.
And he just dropped Henry,
Yeah.
So how much money do you need?
I think the Henry trade was first, right? I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
right?
it
So
was.
at that point, it's like, why not hold out or push for a little more, and if you don't get more, I don't think you just have to rush and make a move just because it's a deadline. That's kind of what it felt like.
That's
to me.
where I feel, again, this brings us back to like the third or fourth week when we talk about emotional signings and emotional moves. The whole bidding war process of getting Derrick Henry was a very emotional, but you live and you learn. So
I
we'll
think
move
in
on.
this league, too, really quick, you got to learn how to trade. Delaniak's got fucking bent over his first 3 years, and for guys who have been scared to trade Pookies in this league for so long and you're new, you got to figure it out sometimes. You got to go evaluate, you got to understand.
Coming from someone with a loose butthole, I'll tell you right now, sometimes
It
you got to
sucks.
get raped.
It sucks, dude, but you got to figure out how to trade. You got to figure out the value for players and how people value them.
Yeah, I agree. All right, speaking of Delaniacs, the next trade 7. So we got Delaniacs sitting back watching everyone making moves, everyone and their mom making moves, and he's sitting back there, and he finally pulls the trigger, and we have DeAndre Swift on the move with the 5th round pick going to Delaniacs for a 2nd round pick in AJ Barner. I will start off with this one. I love it for Delaniacs. They have the depth at running back. He knows he needed that, and he gave up A.J. Barner. He's going to sit here and be like, I love A.J. Barner. I'm like, okay, that's great. You do like A.J. Barner. We all like A.J. Barner, but we don't love A.J. Barner, so knock that off. So he offed A.J. Barner and a late second, if that, for DeAndre Swift, who I think not even this year, he's shown he's a resurgence in his career, and he probably just tacked on another couple years, dude. So I like this for Delaniacs, short term and long term. For Fuller, he committed to the rebuild, so you got to give him that. Diggs is already gone at this point, so he knows he's moving people. It makes sense why he moved DeAndre Swift. I don't hate it for Fuller. I think it was a good move. Just think he could have probably made the right move to get an end of the 1st round pick for Swift. I would have maybe been like, hey, dude, I'll give you a 2nd and DeAndre Swift for a late 1st, but, it is what it is. So that's me. That's my 2 cents.
I love it for Delhi. I think it's a great win now move. Swift has been a workhorse. To your point, do you think he's a workhorse there for 3 years? Do you think the Bears stick with him as their main man? That's kind of, but even if they don't, you're getting good value in the trade anyway, and I think he at least does it this year, next year. We'll see after that. I'd like to see Fuller get a little bit more, and to your point, get maybe not even a 1st. I don't know if I'd give a 1st for Swift necessarily, but I think give him 2 seconds or a 2nd and a 3rd.
Yeah, but you need to think of it like this: if I'm Fuller and I know I'm getting a high-end 2nd, I'm going to be 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, or 2-4, and I'm going to Delaniacs, who's very well going to get a 1st round bye if he does. So that automatically puts him at 213, 214, 215, 216. That is the 6th to 7th spot jump. And you can't just be like, hear the word 1st round pick and think, no, I wouldn't do that. No, you look at position. If I'm in win now, I'm moving back 6 to 7 spots with the dude with the lottery points.
Yeah, but either way, I think it's a B plus, even A minus move for Fuller. I'd say A minus move for Fuller. I think he's getting a top end back right now. At the end of the day,
he's
that's
not
what Swift is doing now.
getting DeAndre Swift. He's selling DeAndre Swift.
It says, it's not what it says. Delaniacs gets Swift in a 5th.
Yes.
Fuller gets 2nd. AJ Barner.
So you said A minus for Fuller effect when you.
I didn't say for Fuller effect. I said A minus for Delhi. All right.
Am I hearing things? Okay, we'll have to.
All right. A minus for Delhi.
Run the tape.
A minus for
Yeah,
Delhi.
we have this recorded.
A minus for Delhi. B minus for Fuller.
I would say so. I think that's what I had an A minus for Delhi, and I had a B to B minus for Fuller. So, what about you, fellas?
I'll go last. Go ahead.
High B's. I think Swift caps out at it. Got as much as you could out of Swift. What's it? Ben Johnson does like his 1-2 punch, so there's value there. There's volume. I see it. But I'd lean it toward Fuller over Delhi. Barely, though. Barely.
Yeah, interesting. Deltron, how do you feel?
I feel good. I had in my mind, it was racing through with the Josh Jacobs injury. Bad intentions hit me up a little bit too late, but I was thinking of hitting his line for Saquon. But when I got the news that Josh Jacobs, it was really a low-grade knee injury. Really, they're saying at most it could be 3 weeks, so I'd have him back for playoffs. I wasn't ready to blow a 1st on not a player like Swift. I would never give a 1st for him, so Fuller would not have gotten that for me. But I think this is a perfect little interim move for me. Like you said, he's still only 26. He actually started his career, I think, with Ben Johnson in Detroit. He didn't really have his breakout until he was in Philly. But I think Ben Johnson likes a gadget player like Swift, where he can do a little bit of everything. He can catch, he can run. I believe he's a good pass protector. I need to watch a little bit more game film now. But also, we saw that Kyle Monangai stepped into that role when he was hurt. And Monangai looked amazing, and everyone was like, oh, Kyle Monangai's the guy, DeAndre Swift. And then he came back this week and out-touched him 2-1. DeAndre Swift had 22 carries, and Kyle Monangai had 10. So I think it says something that the Bears obviously went out and got him in free agency, and they do kind of like him as a guy moving forward that I think he'll have a role at least for the next 2 years. So for Delaniacs now, just in case Josh Jacobs goes out, I have a backup that can at least score, 12 plus a week, which I'll desperately need, and in the future has a little bit of upside. So that was my thought process.
Sounds like you would have been willing to part with the first.
For Saquon?
No, after hearing that.
For
No,
Saquon?
Swift.
All right, so
I love
yeah,
it today.
I think, yeah, I agree. All right, so and then trade 8. Yeah, we're on trade 8 already. This was a freaking
Podcast
go,
we've had.
one of
yeah. Speaking of Saquon, all right, we had dad bodies coming out from the darkness again and going to get Saquon Barkley, a 4th round and a 7th round for Calvin Ridley, a 1st and a 3rd. So much to digest here. First and foremost, who reached out to who?
Oh, I hit him up. I had 3 guys that I thought would like Saquon, so I reached out to Laniacs, Dad Bods, someone else. I forget who it was.
Interesting, by the way.
Anyway,
Is that 3 trades for Saquon?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
definitely the second one this year, yeah.
He's getting tossed.
3 or 4 in 5 years, something like that.
Tossed.
Yeah, so
Getting tossed around
I
like
do.
cheap liquor.
This is a big trade for Dad Bodies. My 2 cents on this is that Dad Bods is like for real, dude. He went and loaded up. He got the insurance behind TMC. He's got now Emmanuel Wilson getting more touches. He's got Saquon now in the mix, and Saquon's handcuffed Hank Bigsby. The guy is just depth out at running back. And I think this is a really good trade for him. And for Bad Intentions, this is now first round pick number 4. Shout out Christian. You came in and you were just like, I'm going to win. I'm not going to win. I'm rebuilding. I'm ejecting. I'm out. Boom. And now look at you. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Baker trade, I want to give like A- on both ends.
It's a very fair trade, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think super fair trade. Love it for Christian. I think for Dad Bods, I will say, to follow up on your point on Drake London, looking at his, I would have targeted a receiver as well if I was him, to be fair. I mean, a lot of trust in Drake London, who to me, even if, comes back healthy, Kirk Cousins hasn't looked anything like, he can't really move the ball. I mean, that's who's playing there the rest of the year. So, he's looking extremely strong at running back, but I'm looking at his receivers and, you're counting on Devontae Adams putting up 15, 20 points a week, really to even be competitive in my mind. So, the trade itself, I like it. I don't really, I probably would have focused more receiver if I was him after the London injury.
Dude, he's going to be running 12 personnel with Kelsey and Warren.
I think Christian getting a first. I don't know. Saquon's not really doing it this year, anything like he did last year. And I think he definitely got as much as he could for him.
Yeah. Deli?
Yeah, fair trade, both sides. It's the two opposite ends of dynasty football, right? Somebody selling it out to go win a fucking chip. Dad Bodies wants it bad. I get that. I'm in the same boat. And Christian committing full into the rebuild. I think he did a great job, not only in this trade, but in this whole... The glazing is beginning to my opponents, but did a great job in this whole trade deadline. He got a lot of draft capital, a lot of value, and I think he'll look good in these next few years if he can hit some draft picks. I would have liked to see receiver as well. I think with Drake London, one thing maybe everyone's not worrying about is, Penix is out for the year. The Falcons are dog shit. If this injury is anything more than just like a slight, I don't even know what it was, like a slight thing, I'd be worried that they pull the plug on him for the year, only because what do you gain to have your all-star receiver go out there and play games that don't matter and then get hurt for a longer extended period of times. So I think he could have been better served with a maybe a receiver 2, receiver 1, but his running back room is scary. But you got to remember, again, 12 personnel or whatever, but starting 3 good receivers in this league is real fucking cool as opposed you can only start 2 running backs at any given time.
Yeah, and again, guys, we will say it's this side note. The sellers started selling and the buyers started buying, and you see that the guys who really want to win one were making the right moves, and then you saw the guys that just could probably admit they're like, hey, our time's not now, our time will be soon. Boom.
I had to pull Dad Vods out of the cave. I hit him up. I was like, hey, Saquon's on the block. He texted me within a minute. He goes, that's the fastest I've ever texted somebody.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
trust
all
me,
right.
we can all vouch.
I was like,
we
I
can
would
all
too.
vouch for that. The last trade to cap this all off, gentlemen, we had back nines and Fuller effect. Very interesting trade here. We have back nines receiving George Pickens, a 4th-round pick in 2026, and a 3rd-round pick in 2027. Or 7, yeah. In return for Christian Kirk,
Gunnar Helm.
a
Yeah, those are just throwing
2nd-round
their
pick,
contracts.
and a 2027 round 1st-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love it for Benny. I mean, I think Pickens is a stud. I think he's going to be nice. And to me, I mean, if you really break it down, like I mean, he's getting a 4th and he gave up 1st and 2nd for Pickens. To me, the other 2 guys are really fillers. I don't have any expectations for Kirk or for Gunnar Helm. So to me, it's Pickens for a 1st and a 2nd and a 4th coming back. So I don't hate it. I mean, it may be partially a homer move, being a Cowboys fan, but I do love George Pickens. I've always loved George Pickens. I think he's a wide receiver 1. So
I think it's a great move on Benny.
I think after Pickens last night, you're like, oh, 2 nights ago.
not
you're
even
like,
just last
this
night,
is
but I
pretty
will
good.
say I've liked him for. I mean,
Yeah, he's looked
he's
good.
been a stud.
And you're worried about when CeeDee Lamb come back, how they would involve him, but it turns into J-Mo just goes across, or J-Mo, Pickens goes across the middle of the field and just turns it up. So I was going back and forth on this. I was like, all right, is Pickens 1st and a 2nd for Pickens? I think I gave the edge to Fuller, getting the 1st out of him. Not in love with it, only because on Benny's side, because you don't know what's going to happen with Pickens next year. He's in contract here. I don't see him sticking around at the Cowboys. I don't know if they pay him, Lamb.
Person.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, this is for the playoff run. He really has to make a run then now to make it worth it. But
I
don't.
think he's a
I
clear-cut
go
wide receiver
Fuller.
1 on most teams, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we saw him as
Yeah.
a clear cut at the Steelers, and what happens?
Different
And I know
offense,
bad
though.
quarterback.
Yeah,
I know
that's
bad
different
quarterback play.
offense.
That's my
Jelly?
take.
I love it for Benny. Do not like it for Fuller. You're rebuilding. Get that. George Pickens is 24, 25, really hitting his stride. Christian said it best. I traded Pickens away at one point, my dumb ass. But he really was
I
not.
traded for Clyde.
God damn it. Yeah, you should have done it. Kamish, God damn it. You're seeing him come into himself now. Pickens was a dog at Georgia. He makes those crazy catches, and he needs a quarterback that's going to get him the ball. Dak has been that. And, like Christian said again, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him with that, with how him.
Sells draft picks because he doesn't scout. So it makes all the sense in the world for him to flip this 1st. Fuller, on the other hand, you do not trade. Just because you go and rebuild, boys, take notes, does not mean you trade the one piece you have that will be your cornerstone. So I'm going to just say this, for example. I'm going to put myself in Fuller's shoes. You're gutting DeAndre Swift. You're gutting Mark Andrews. You're gutting A.J. Brown all day, way before George Pickens. The only people I want on my roster, if I'm going full rebuild, Lamar and George Pickens. That's literally it. You have to have a vision of what will my team look like in 2 to 3 years? Will these guys be a part of my team in 2 to 3 years? Will Lamar be still producing in 2 to 3 years? I think so. I mean, do you guys agree? Lamar should be producing in 2 to 3 years.
Indeed.
George Pickens is going to be 26, 27.
He doesn't turn 20. He doesn't turn 25 for the next 5. He turns 20. He turns 25 in March.
Yeah, he's gonna hope. He's just gonna hope to draft another receiver with that 1st and hope he's just as good as Pickens.
You just did. It was completely redundant of a trade. This guy it just makes no
You're
sense.
being too harsh. There is
like-
some value there.
Like
No,
Family
it's
Guy
not.
meme.
No,
It's
it's
like,
not.
do you want
No,
the
it's not.
mystery
Yeah, there
box
is.
or do you want
Let's
George
talk about it.
Pickens?
Let's talk about it. Who on his team? All right, I know we're going in, but what building blocks do you have now moving forward?
He has the picks in Lamar.
Yeah, but how often do your
A.J.
draft
Brown's
picks
got a
hit?
couple years.
Your picks don't always go according to plan. This always happens. They hear the word 1st-round pick and they start overvaluing it than a young guy who's either on the up and up or who's producing because they hear the word 1st-round pick and they start doing dumb things. This was a dumb move. This guy has to go out. He has to go find stable running backs, 2 of them, because he just got rid of DeAndre Swift. He's got Rachaad White, not stable. Bill's not stable. No one on his roster at running back is stable, so now he has to find 2 of them, and then he has to go find the 2 wide receivers good wide receivers.
Liked it if Fuller maybe could have gotten that 2027 first and fuck the second, fuck everything else, and maybe Zay Flowers, another young piece he could
Yes.
stack with Lamar.
Yes.
That would have made more
Yeah.
sense to me.
Now you're sitting here with all this recipe, and you don't know how to cook. Yeah, you think he's going to be knowing what to do with all these first-round picks? I don't think so.
Rant done.
Don't love it. Okay, so with all that said,
Really quick
let's
before,
pick-
do you think he could have gotten a first for A.J. Brown? Would anybody have paid that in our league? Bless you.
Thank you.
A.J. Brown
He has
for
a
first
favorable
when he would have
schedule.
done that? He
It's
hasn't
a
done
very
shit, though. Go
favorable
look at his
schedule.
past games. Devontae Smith's
I
been
mean, I feel
out.
like
I know, but they
Yeah.
gave him 11 targets last game, so I mean they're wanting to get him in.
Point
No,
nine.
he didn't. He's no. He's who knows? But anyway, all right. So we had to pick. Let's just do this. I'm going to say this: the trade deadline winner and loser. I think the winner is kind of unanimous. It's going to Bad Intentions. The winner.
I would agree.
Between the loser, congratulations, Bad Intentions. You did phenomenal.
Thank you.
Good work. Good work.
You should
Now
start
go
classes.
start drafting or doing your research for all these drafts you got coming up.
Yeah. I know damn well Bad Intentions isn't selling George Pickens. I'll tell you that much. But just
Probably
kidding.
not.
No. I'm saying
Probably
winner.
not.
I'm saying winner is gonna be Bad Intentions. Loser, it's a toss-up. We talked about Bova's. We talked about Fuller Effect, and we talked about Danny. If you guys were to pick a loser, only Dan's. I think Bova's. His was minimal. His wasn't catastrophic, so he's off the fucking hook. He got rid of some stuff. It's between Fuller Effect and Fuller Effect and only Dan's. Who would be the loser, boys?
I would say, I mean, to me, only Dance, because to me, I mean, the Jackson Dart trade alone, I personally gave a D to. So, I mean, it's a pretty horrible trade. You're giving up a first-round pick. The Stephon Diggs trade, to me, doesn't make any sense either. You're giving up a second-round pick for that as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's a big loser in my mind.
I'll probably go the same route, just because it's a little much. I can see why, though. I mean, he's going to be in the playoffs more than likely. He has the pieces. Dart is a good long-term piece, but overall, I don't like the second for the Diggs. I think that was way too much. But
And I will say,
it's not terrible because he could go win. So what does it look like then?
honorable mention, though, to me is Bova's, though. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going rebuild,
Yeah.
and he gave up Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry and gained 1 second.
I love how these two guys are shitting on the guys they traded with.
So, I mean,
These guys don't
I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go too hard on
Yeah,
Dan
that
because
dude I
like
fucking fleeced, he sucks.
he's still like I don't know.
but yeah, I will say, go rebuild, and you don't get a first-round pick. Only get 1 second between, really, that you're gaining between Kamara and King Henry.
I'd just like to see some of the teams who obviously committed to the rebuild. Good on you. Props.
Get
maybe
more.
get
Get
some
more,
more young potential value or maybe draft capital. But again, it's harder in this league. You get dudes you try to trade with like Pookies who just won't answer the phone and is scared to trade. So I get it. It's hard to make trades,
Yeah.
but I'd like to see more
Is
value.
Blowy's the real loser of the trade deadline?
I can't believe you
Yeah, I
didn't
agree
make a
with
trade.
that.
I think
I've talked
I
with him
will
a
say,
few
I mean,
times
to the
in
selling
person.
teams, I remember my first, full sale getting Saquon. I got 3 firsts for Saquon, and
And what did you do with it, Getz?
I got Kincaid. I got Rashee Rice as one of the second-round picks. Got
It's not one of the 3 first,
Jordan
though.
Addison in there.
Oh, okay. All right. I like it.
Turned into Jordan Addison, Kincaid, and I don't know, but it was a great. I don't know. Continue on.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like loser is going to be Blowy's for not making a move. At least Danny went down swinging. And who knows? It could come back and win him.
Dart has one of the easier schedules down the stretch, so
All right. He's trying to justify his trades like I do all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean?
well, he had to shed Dak's
Noah
contract.
Gray? Noah Gray's
So.
got serious upside.
God damn it, Noah Gray. Dropped his ass week 2.
All right, so yeah, I think those are that. And fellas, we're running really late, so let's just knock this out.
The stamp from Getz.
Hey, time out. We
He
got the
didn't get the
Browns
stamp.
+3 in one of these.
And I was going to say we got conflicting picks here, but
Oh.
hey, I'll get to mine though quick. I'll get to
Squad
mine
vote, can we
quick.
vote?
Browns.
Fine, I'll take the Bears minus.
That's fine. Let's rewind, scratch, go to the beginning, and we'll make new picks. How about that? That don't
All right, hold
conflict
on
with
one
everyone
second.
else's
All right,
picks.
everybody cook up right
All right,
now.
everyone act normal. And now we are here with spread of the week. Spread. And boys, you guys may not know this, but last time the four of us had a little foursome, a little four tango. We hit, and we're gonna only spread of the week ever to hit is us 4, and we're looking to do it again. and let's create some magic. So I will add the first ingredients. And I do love this one. I think this guy is going to come. I'm probably going to look like a fucking asshat with this pick. But I do like, we're looking at the Falcons plus 1.5.
Plus 2 is what I'm seeing.
Plus 1.5.
Let's get it.
Plus 2.
Captain Kirk's back in the mix. Bijan, you just need Bijan, Tyler Algier. That's it. I don't care if Michael Penix is gone. I don't care if Drake London's out. You got Mooney, you got Pitts, you got some other guys. You got the running back. They have a very good defense. So I'm going with my 1.5 Atlanta Falcons.
Very nice. I like it.
I like
All right.
it.
Yes. Let's hear yours.
Jags minus 3 is going to be my pick. I think Cardinals continue to find ways to lose. Maybe come out competitive that first half, but I think the Jaguars follow up strong week against the Chargers and carry it on against the Cardinals, win by 3 or more.
Hell yeah.
What do we think? Guys, we like that?
I like it.
Bang it.
Get down on it.
All right.
Let's get it.
down on it. All right.
Down on it.
Let's hear Deltrons.
I have the Browns plus 3.
Yeah.
No one's heard that before. Yeah, I don't know.
3.5.
The Browns might get a little bit of swagger back with Shador. We got to get a little taste of the future Jays QB1.
What he does.
He's got some swagger, and I think it's unfortunate that he's on that Browns offense because some things just were not going right. They wanted to kill him as soon as he got in the fucking game. I talked about it on last pod that it would be kind of poetic justice that the game he got it to start. The weather was also super inclement, so hard to throw in. But he had a really nice. He escaped the pocket in the fourth quarter, and like did his little signature loop around, and had my boy Isaiah Bond wide open in it. But he threw a crossbody almost dart, missed him by like 2 yards. It was a really nice throw. And also the Raiders are just dog shit, dude. That line is ass awful. The
Raiders
Browns
are so
defense
ass.
is
They're
fucking
mega ass.
immaculate. I just don't see Geno Smith getting out of there legit without getting pressured and sacked probably 30 plus times.
Hey, and side note, throw these in on Fanatics because Connor Falcons plus 2, get the extra half point, and on Fanatics got Browns plus 4, so you get that plus 4 instead of plus 3.5. So I think they win outright. But
Look at that. Book
I'll
hopping.
just tease
Let's
it.
go.
All right.
All right.
Nickel and dimes. Let's hear it.
Yes, sir. I did want to add before my pick that I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am 10 out of the last 12 between squad rides and the spread picks. So,
We're
hello.
not worthy.
Hey.
We're not
Okay,
worthy.
My pick is going to be Chiefs, I think minus $1 million, but minus 3.5. Danny Dimes under pressure is terrible. I think that
That's
that
awful.
defense just
Who's gonna put pressure on him?
overall. The whole team, everybody gets. We're gonna
Certainly not
send
Chris
them.
Jones.
We're gonna
Not
send them
you.
all. Spags gets everybody going. I think JT gets bottled up. Mahomes comes out. What, after a loss last week? What, have to win now? Don't talk me into going lower. No.
No,
Yeah, we
we're
got
not
minus
changing
3. I like
shit.
that.
I think
I
I
said
am
no
going-
alternates.
I
I
think
am
Dan
going
said
Atlanta.
Oh,
I am going Atlanta minus 2.5. I'm sorry, plus 2.5. And I'm going Jacksonville minus 3 and Cleveland plus 3.5. That's 11.96.
Plus 4.
Plus 4.5.
Just 4. Flat 4, but yeah.
Oh, plus 4. Browns plus 4. All right, boys. What does this give us? That's going to give us some juicy
And
odds.
Chiefs 3.5.
Yep. And I got some different odds. What do you got, Gets, on Fanatics?
Fanatics.
I got plus 1086. I still like that.
I got plus 1291.
Drinks are on you if this hits. Let's go. Step it up. All right, boys. We're
30,
locked
30
in.
to win 400. There we go.
Jaguars minus 3, Atlanta plus 2.5, Chiefs minus 3.5, Cleveland plus 4.5. Let's bang it. Thank you, boys, for a long session today.
130.
I usually don't go this long, but when I do, it's with 3 other guys, and we're talking fantasy, my fantasies. And yeah, thanks again, guys, for coming out. Best of luck this year on your rebuilds, on your playoff hopes. We have a big week. Just remember, George Pickens should never have got traded. So therefore,
Stop. Shut it down.
Love you guys.
Shut it down.
we'll let
Click
it go. We are at